on a nuisance job. I do nuisance trapping about all times of the year. We've got a raccoon job here. The raccoons have been tearing out the insulation in this RV. Can't see the damage because we can't get under the RV, but I guarantee you there's plenty of dollars worth of damage. Lots of raccoon tracks coming out from under the RV. This RV, you can see we got a raccoon trail right there. And we're going to be careful when we set our cages up not to set them close enough to the RV where the raccoons can reach out and do damage to it. And we'll talk about that later in this video. This is I'm not going to tell you what the business is, but it's got a stadium and an arena. Here's some more of the insulation. Stadium and arena out here. I cleaned the coons out of here about 3 years ago. Haven't been needed back since. And now we're needing to do it again. These ones are doing a lot of damage. Okay, so in this gravel even, you can see, I hope you can see on the camera, the compaction, which is the path. They're actually going under this picnic table. And some of them, by the paw prints, are going over the picnic table. And there's a pinch point right here under this gate. It looks as though there's a lot of raccoon activity going under the gate, walking over that door. There's also muddy footprints here on the concrete, so they're splitting. They're going two different directions. So we will be treating this Y as a pinch point, and we'll focus some traps here also, because we know we can catch coons over here. Sorry for moving the camera so fast. We can catch coons over here. We can put our traps in front of coons here, but if we stay in this Y, we're going to be on maximum numbers of raccoons. This is just a little ways down from that Y I just showed you. Again, people don't think you can read sign in gravel, but the gravel is fairly normal, and then it's compacted. There's a trail coming here, under and between, going out that direction. So that's a nice raccoon trail there. We're going to use cage traps. They're going that direction also. We got another little intersection here. We could try DPs. We're in a remote location. However, any DP trapped coon is going to want to tear up some of the wood and stuff that's within range. We're going to use cages. Cages are more appropriate for this spot. Here's where a lot of the raccoons are coming from that are making the trails. They've actually got a trail here. There's a lot of activity going down under this shed. A lot of activity coming in under this fence. And there's actually a raccoon here, right there in the fence. And they're going off that direction beside that building, and they're apparently going off that direction also. Storage unit here. There's a hole just on the other side of this fence that goes under it. The raccoons are coming out this way, going down along it. Some of them are crossing the fence and going down along the fence. So we got two travel ways here. Now I'm assuming that the freshest coon tracks are over here, the better travel ways over here. I'm gonna assume I can set either side of the fence and catch raccoons. The bait smell will arguably pull them over, but I frankly like having it right under their nose, right in their face, is my way of preferring to do things. Now, I've moved this mat out of the way so any trapped raccoon's not going to get a hold of it. As you can see, all my cages, all my gravity door cages are staked down so the coons can't flip them over and the door comes open. Each one of these traps have 4 kinds of bait in it. One I don't normally do except late season, and that's canine. That's actually coyote gland lure. I may pick up an occasional stray cat or something, but I'll just let him loose out here. He wants them out here. But the other baits are, there's a wet food-based bait, dry food-based bait, and then a squirtable that's permeating a trail of doom into the trap. We want to put a little bit of bait to the front by the door, a lot of bait or enough bait to the back. As you can see, I've got a cup in there with bait in it. Same here, cup with bait in it. That's to keep birds. People say, you know, well, the coon stole all my bait out of the trap. A high percentage of that is birds and mice. And the cup is not only a good visual, because these are trash pandas, but it also protects some of the bait. So if the birds come in or mice come in and clean you out, you'll still have something there for them. That cup has lure smeared on it, and it has a squirtable lure also smeared on it. This is especially important if you're trapping under bird feeders, you'll find, but it can apply to anywhere. I like a visual and I like a little trash in my coon traps. I've covered a couple thresholds for you so you can see what I'm talking about. It's not mandatory. I like to do it sometimes. I think a certain percentage of raccoons stall out here at that threshold. I've got some dry dirt on it, and then some of these don't have the thresholds covered. Again, not mandatory. I probably should do it all the time, but I don't always. Remember to stake these gravity door traps down. All right, let's go look at a couple more. Trail is coming right around the corner to go towards that RV. They're coming out from under a building over here. Same setup, not much more to explain. Make sure the traps are stable. Throw a little visual, a little trash in the back, and you'll be well rewarded. Where they're coming out from under the shed, we've got another one. Now I don't have this one staked down. It's got a spring-loaded door, so even if they flip it on its top, it doesn't matter. I had a hard time bedding this one. The gravel was kind of solid. Kick your foot around in there, get a shovel or something if you have to loosen that gravel up. Or if it's a drought year like last summer and it's really hard dirt, you need that trap to sit stable. Don't set it if it's not stable. This is the place I showed you. There's actually raccoon hair in the fence blowing in the wind. Lots of coon activity coming right in here. My squirtable is squirted right out to this trail, right into the mouth of this trap. Everything's geared towards inviting him in to the trap. That trail of doom is going to bring him over. He probably already knows the other stuff's over here, but the closer he gets to the trap, the better things get for him. I don't want the trap right up against the building. There's kind of a little knoll there, a little bump. I don't like that. I don't mind my traps, my cage traps, being angled backside downwards a little bit. I don't want to try to make the animal go upwards, but I prefer they be on the level. That's my preference, even if I got to come a foot back. The bait and lure will do the rest. And in this case, we've got, for some reason, late season, especially boar coon, seem to like coyote gland lure. And that's the additional thing I've got in these traps that I don't normally, spring, summer, fall, put in my traps. All right, so we're back at this RV that I set up yesterday for you guys. I showed you some trails, showed you some setups, showed you some damage where the insulation has been pulled out from under this RV by raccoons. There's tracks everywhere, and coming out from under the RV, there's tracks right here where this set is. Nothing in it, bait's still all intact. Nothing's been playing around the threshold at all. However, where they've been coming out from under the RV there, we've got a nice big coon. And that's obviously almost as close as getting your hand caught in the cookie jar here. And so this, I was talking to you a little bit about these ADC type, you know, 1/2 inch and 1 inch traps. you notice he's not been able to reach out and do really any damage at all on the outside of this trap. So if you were on a rooftop or in a yard that you were really concerned about the grass, nice sod, whatever, this would be a better trap than a 1 inch by 1 inch. You can see out front they can get a little bit of damage, even though the door is set up to where the bars are narrower down low to try and avoid this. They still get some reach. So out front in someone's yard, if you're using one of these style traps, you still have to be concerned about that area right there getting some damage. I showed you another trail coming around a corner between a building and that. This is a 1 inch by 1 inch trap. I reinforce all these in the off season. You notice there's really no damage to the side. However, look how much digging goes on out front. So I use these a lot in nuisance wildlife work, but I'm careful where I put them because frankly they will pull their hind feet and their front feet out, or push their hind feet and their front feet out and try to grab. So always a concern when you're in places, more sensitive places when it comes to the sodded yards, rooftops, things like that. This trap is not for that. This trap is for farm locations, ag locations, places that damage is not near as big a deal. If you need to use them. However, if you're up against a barn or siding or bales of hay, keep in mind that a lot of that hay is going to end up right inside the trap. So we're catching some big bore coons here, and these are our damage. These are our damage causing coons right here. This trail coming out of here goes straight down right over to that RV when you follow this storage unit where there was two trails, one on the inside of the fence, one on the outside of the fence. Here's my trap that I set to the inside of the fence. I honestly thought I'd catch my coon here because the tracks were fresher on the inside, but aren't we glad we set the trap on the outside? Not that he wouldn't have gone under the fence and gotten into that trap, but we're kind of asking him to do more than necessary here. Two traps are always better than one, and he has shown us good example of what happens when you're setting the 1 inch by 1 inch mesh. Look at the digging he's been able to do. Now imagine that on a rooftop. Those of you guys that don't do nuisance work, that would start trying to do any rooftop work and haven't thought about it, these 1 inch by 1 inch mesh traps are only for places that kind of don't matter as far as the damage goes. You do not want to set them in sensitive environments or fragile environments that the raccoon can do damage to. So, and that's why this is really a good example of why you can't hurt anything back here by this tire pile. What's being hurt is all the trails these raccoons have going, all go and intersect and network with the trail. Look at those coon tracks that leads us over to that RV. So literally everything, if you looked at it from the air, ties together, and the RV seems to be the center of attention. So hey, thanks for coming along on this job with me, guys. I hope you learned maybe one thing. That would be great if one of you just picked up one thing. It's by far not rocket science, but there's things that guys like me do, little things that you might not think of. So hey, I'll see you on the next video. We're going to make a bunch of them, and we're going to give them to the Iowa Trappers Association YouTube. Please support the Iowa Trappers Association YouTube, and hit like and share it all over the place so we get more subscribers. I appreciate the work that they're doing. Thank you.